Okay, so if we look at this one and we read it, it says that the height is the same and the width is the same. However, the length went from 12 to 3. So you have to ask yourself, how does a number go from 12 to 3? Well, 12 divided by 4 is 3, right? So remember, we talked about if something happens to one side or one attribute, it happens to the entire volume. However, that is not true with surface area. They gave us the surface area, ladies and gentlemen. So unfortunately, we have to go back and we have to do surface area for both of them. So surface area equals 2 length width plus 2 length height plus 2 width height. I know this because I'm seriously just taking it from my formula sheet. So length, width, height. My length is 12, my width is 4, my height is 5. So now I just plug in. 2 times 12 times 4 plus 2 times 12 times 5 plus 2 times 4 times 5. Now I chunk it up into 3 separate problems. So 2 times 12 times 4, I just put that in my calculator exactly as I see it. 2 times 12 times 4 is 96 plus 2 times 12 times 5 is 120 plus 2 times 4 times 5 is 40. Now I add it up. So 96 plus 120 plus 40 gives me 256. All right, now I need to find the surface area for the smaller prism. 2 length width plus 2 length height plus 2 width height. Now I plug in 2. Well, let's do length, width, height again. Our length is 3 this time. Our width should be the same, which is 4. Our height should be the same, which is 5. So 2 times 3 times 4 plus 2 times 3 times 5 plus 2 times 4 times 5. Just like we did above, we're going to chunk it up. So 2 times 3 times 4 is 24, plus 2 times 3 times 5 is 30, plus 2 times 4 times 5 is 40. If you add them all up, you're going to get, let's see, 70, 94. Okay? Now, it says what's the difference between the two? So I need to take the first and I need to subtract it by the second. So 256 minus 94 should give me 162. So it's 162 square feet difference. Remember, that's because this is a surface area. You have to calculate for surface area. Now, yay, we say volume. Volume is great because that one's easier. How does the total volume of a prism change if you double the height of the prism? If you double the height, boom, we double the entire volume. It's that easy. This volume is the bomb.com. However, surface area, we would have had to calculate. A fish tank is filled with water. It's filled with water, y'all. Immediately, we know it's going to be volume. The tank is 7 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 10 feet high. Half of the water is then poured out. How much water is left in the tank? So let's just go straight up. Volume equals length times width times height. So volume equals 7 times 2 times 10, which is, I put it in my calculator, 140 feet cubed. However, we got to go back, and it said right here, half of the water is then poured out. So this is the max that it can hold. So all we do, guys, is just divide that by 2. And 140 divided by 2 is 70. So how much water is left in the tank? Boom, 70 feet cubed. That's it. Which of the following diagrams can be used to represent the surface area of a cylinder? Remember we talked about a cylinder? All a cylinder is 2 circles, right? This is the top of the Pringles can, this is the bottom of the Pringles can, and here's the label. So H is our winner. The volume of a rectangular prism is 480 feet. What would be the volume of a rectangular prism if the width changed from 10 to 5, but all the other dimensions stay the same? So once again, guys, volume is awesome because we can do a shortcut. Now, it was 10 and it went to 5. How can you go from 10 to 5? Well, you can cut it in half, which is dividing by 2, right? So if we divided one attribute by 2, we divide the entire volume by 2. So 480 divided by 2 is 240. So C is my answer. Find the area and their circumference. I straight up go to my formula sheet, and I find that the area of a circle is pi r squared. So area equals pi is 3.14. This is my diameter. In order to change it to the radius, I got to cut it in half. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. That's what I'm plugging in. We have to do exponents first. So 6 times 6 is 36. Bring down your 3.14. Now you can just go ahead and plug it to your calculator. 3.14 times 36 is 113.04 feet squared. Because remember, this is an area. For circumference from my formula sheet is 2 pi r. So circumference equals 2, pi is 3.14, and my radius is 6. At that point, I can just plug it in my calculator. 2 times 3.14 times 6, enter, is 37.68 feet. And circumference is like perimeter, and that you don't square it, you don't cube it, nothing. You just leave it. Find the area. Remember we talked about, so this is a parallelogram. And we haven't talked about parallelograms for a while. But the area of a parallelogram is base times height. We know what the base and the height is because we find that right angle. And everything touching the right angle is our base and our height. So area equals, our base is 7.3 and our height is 4.2. This 5.1 is a distractor. Don't be freaked out by it. Now I just 7.3 times 4.2, enter, 30.66 meters, and this is an area, so squared. Find the area. I find the formula for an area of a triangle, and that's area equals half base times height. Just like before, we find the right angle, and everything touching the right angle is the base and the height. So we turn 1/2 into 0.5, and then my base is 10, and my height is 6. I put that into my calculator, and I should get 30 inches squared. And last one. Find the area. If you're like, this seems too easy, don't be freaked out. I'm just asking you, what's the area of that rectangle? I find that on my formula, length times width, area equals 9 times 2, and you got it. 9 times 2 is 18 centimeters squared. That's it.